Hi, I'm Ricky Davis, captain of the United States Olympic and World Cup teams. This program on attacking soccer focuses on scoring. It will demonstrate basic shooting and heading techniques, as well as drills necessary to build the timing, skill, and confidence essential for scoring goals. Participating in this program are players from the Bush Soccer Club, a club consisting of 14 teams sponsored by Anheuser-Busch and headquartered at the St. Louis Soccer Park, a facility devoted exclusively to soccer. The program was designed by Frans Van Balkom, Director of Coaching for Anheuser-Busch. A renowned player as well as a coach, Frans was a member of the Holland youth team and Dutch national military team. He has played professionally with Roda JC, a Dutch First Division team, and Wilhelmina in Australia's Victoria State League. His international coaching credits include head coaching positions with the Iranian, Hong Kong, and Indonesian national teams. Frans has a degree in soccer coaching from the University of Cologne in West Germany and is the recipient of its Premier Coaching Award. Assisting Frans in providing narration is Bob Kehoe, president of the Bush Soccer Club. Bob has played the game for over 45 years. In 1965, he was captain of the United States World Cup soccer team and became head coach of the U.S. team in 1972. He has coached from the high school all the way to the professional level and is a member of the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. Here's Frans Van Balkom and Bob Kehoe.
In the modern game of soccer, with tight defenses and packed penalty areas, it's important that players have a solid foundation in the attacking skills. This program is about the techniques of scoring. Frans, what will we expect to see in this program?
We will demonstrate basic shooting and heading skills, as well as drills designed to give players the skill and confidence to take advantage of scoring opportunities when they occur.
Something I find puzzling. The United States has been around international soccer for quite a few years, and yet we have never produced a world-class player. How do you explain that?
First of all, there's no professional outdoor league to give players the opportunity to develop into world-class players. Further, it's a lack of importance placed on their attacking skills. You find that many coaches spend a lot of time on coaching defensive tactics, but not really improving the attacking skills of their players. And that's what you need to be exciting, creative, and play world-class soccer.
Frans, I'd like to hear your definition of what it takes to be a world-class player. What qualities does a player have to possess that the ordinary player doesn't have?
Besides the skills, Bob, he has flair, personality, he takes initiative, he's very creative, and all that combined with dedication to physical conditioning makes an outstanding player.
So it takes the player who spends great amounts of time perfecting his skills and honing them to a keen edge, and then developing the confidence to use them in the game. Now we're going to move to the field for shooting skills. Shooting skills must be practiced slowly at first, then built up until players can perform them with accuracy and power. Professional players combine both of these elements and as a result score exciting goals.
And Sting. Alonso against Moreland, penalty area, Granitza! He scores over the back!
Scoring, Runs in baseball, points in basketball, touchdowns in football, and goals in hockey and soccer. That's the purpose of every game. Players love to do it, and spectators come to games to see it happen. In today's modern game of soccer, with 11 opponents constantly trying to prevent you from scoring, we all know that that's a very difficult thing to do. Now we're going to show you some basic techniques in shooting, and we're going to build it up into more game-like situations. Shooting skills are also useful for passing and incorporate basic kicking techniques. Watch as one of the Bush Soccer Club players practices the first skill, a kick with the inside of the foot. He starts by trapping the ball, then performs the technique. To do this correctly, rotate your hip so that the kicking foot is flat or square behind the ball, and bend the knees slightly. The ankle should be rigid and the sole of the shoe parallel to the ground. Don't point the toe down. In this position, the leg is brought back, then forward to strike the ball with the inside of the foot. Contact should be made with the center of the ball, and the foot should be about 4 inches above the ground. This helps to keep the ball low and close to the ground. Now eliminate the trap and practice the move with just one touch. Try to maintain the proper technique without taking more than one step toward the ball. Be sure to complete your technique with a follow-through. Naturally, you should practice using both feet. This particular skill is not a power technique, but is used for its accuracy. The next skill involves the use of the instep. It provides more power than the previous skill, but is not as accurate. Again, start your practice with 2 touches, a trap and a kick. To kick with the instep, get in line with the ball. Using your hip muscles, bring the kicking leg back. Then bend the knee to raise the kicking foot even higher. Now bring the knee forward forcefully. When the knee is back under the body and just over the ball, straighten the lower leg from the knee and bring the foot forward. Keep the toe pointed toward the ground at the moment of impact. Remember, when performing this skill, it is important that you look at the ball, and the ankle of the kicking foot should be held rigid. Now practice the move using one touch. Notice that the player lets the ball get almost underneath his body before performing the kick, and after striking the ball, the leg continues forward with a follow-through. The third skill is a bending or curving kick using the inside of the foot. Again, in practice, begin with 2 touches. Notice how this technique makes the ball curve. The ball is struck with the inside of the foot, as with the first skill, but this time you put a spin on the ball by hitting across the ball at an angle instead of straight on. The next skill is similar to the last one, except that you put a spin on the ball by striking it with the outside of the foot. Kicking the ball with the left foot will cause the ball to curve to the left, and kicking the ball with the right will cause it to curve to the right. Be sure you follow through with a natural motion. Start your practice with 2 touches on the ball. Work on getting a lot of curve in your bending kicks. This will make it more difficult for a goalkeeper to intercept and hold, and will be useful in a free kick situation close to the goal. This skill is called the drive. The idea is to make contact low and under the ball and lift it high. Once again, start your practice with 2 touches. To do the drive, use the same basic technique as the kick with the inside of the foot, but hit the ball well below center. Again, look at the ball, use a swinging motion with your leg, and be sure to follow through. The next skill is called the chip, or the lob. It is performed the same as the drive, except that you use the instep to strike the ball. As with the drive, the idea is to get low under the ball and send it high over the head of defenders or the goalkeeper. The next skill is the volley. The volley is used when the ball is coming to you in the air. To do the volley, step into the ball and meet it in the air with the instep of the foot, keeping the toes pointed down. When performing the volley, you must let the ball drop to about knee level or lower before kicking it. Otherwise, you will kick under the ball and send it too high. A variation of this technique is the side volley. To do this, point the standing foot toward the ball and kick sideways with the instep, or the inside of the foot. To gain power, try to put your full weight behind the technique. The final kick can be spectacular if executed properly. It's the bicycle, also known as the scissors kick. To do the bicycle, begin your jump by raising your knee forcefully upward. Then push off the ground with the kicking leg. While in the air, let the shoulders fall backward, extend your arms to the side for balance, and kick the ball with the instep. After the kick, turn your body toward the ground and break the fall with your hands. This skill should be practiced carefully under supervision of your coach, as injury may result from careless practice. Basic shooting skills must be practiced in drills to develop the ability and confidence necessary to take advantage of openings in a defense and score goals. Top professional players have refined these skills so that they can apply them effectively in competition.
Beautiful goal.
The first of the shooting drills puts 3 of the Bush Soccer Club players in a confined area of about 15 by 25 yards. The players do not move in any set pattern, but simply move around the area, striking the ball using any of the basic shooting techniques. You will notice that the players are using the same areas of the foot which are used to pass the ball. The instep and the inside and outside of the foot are the accepted method of passing as well as shooting. All shots on goal are not hit with great force. Often, a well-placed shot using the inside of the foot is more effective than shooting hard with the instep. The second drill is a variation on the first. Again, we have 3 players in a confined area, but now there is a specific pattern. Each player takes a corner. The ball is passed diagonally, and the receiving player moves off with the ball to the empty corner, turns, and shoots the ball to the opposite corner. This drill is useful for developing accuracy in shooting and passing, as well as receiving and trapping the ball effectively. Again, the players are free to use any of the shooting skills in this drill. Coaches are constantly telling players that they must be first to the ball. This is particularly good advice when a scoring opportunity presents itself. Now we're going to see players in a realistic situation being first to the ball, close to the goal. To make the drills more realistic, we've added a pair of portable goals and goalkeepers. Each goalkeeper serves the ball to an attacking player who uses one of the shooting skills to attack, then sets up to shoot on the opposite goal. An important point for shooters in this drill is the first touch on the ball as he receives it from the goalkeeper. The first touch should bring the ball under complete control. This allows the shooter to look up, locate the position of the goalkeeper, look back at the ball, and shoot. Here is a shot with the inside of the foot. Now a shot with the instep. The players will now try an inside bending kick. Then an outside bending kick. Next, they'll try the drive. And finally, a chip. To practice shooting on the volley, have the goaltender serve a bouncing ball to the attacking players. Shooters must work on getting the entire body behind the shot to give it power. In the next drill, there are 4 players. 2 act as servers, and 2 take turns attacking one goal. Since all scoring opportunities don't occur in the center of the field, we've asked the serving players to pass to the side of the goal. This brings the goalkeeper to the side of the goal near the post. The players have been instructed to shoot to the second post, which is harder for the goalkeeper to protect, but is also a more difficult target for the shooter. This is a variation on the previous drill, but now there are 2 goals, and the serving players are about midfield on each side. Each attacking player receives 2 serves and takes a shot at each goal. Again, they are allowed to use any of the shooting techniques in their attempt to score. Now we've added a defender to put more pressure on the attacking player. This is a 1 versus 1 drill. The attacking player receives the ball from the goalkeeper, advances toward the opposite goal, and must get by the defender to take a shot. The next drill adds a 1-2 or wall pass to the sequence. 2 players alternate the attack. One player near the goal serves it forward to the second player and advances toward the opposite goal. The attacking player then receives a pass from the second player and shoots on goal. In this drill, there are 3 players, the attacker being in the middle. It starts with a goalkeeper serve to the attacking player, who advances toward that goal and attempts to score. The defender then assumes the role of attacker and attacks the other goal. This drill incorporates a feint kick and a cross pass from the side. Form 2 lines of attacking players and have 2 players act as servers on each side near the goal. Both attacking players, 1 from each line, advance toward goal after the pass. The first player does a feint kick and does not touch the ball. Instead, she lets it go through to the second attacking player, who shoots on goal, then moves to the end of the other line. The serves should come from alternate sides after each scoring attempt. This drill is effective for perfecting passing and feinting skill as well as shooting techniques. The next drill also uses a crossing pass, but this time the attacking player has the option of using a chest trap and a volley or half-volley kick. As before, There are two serving players on the side who send high passes to the attacking player. He uses a chest trap to control the ball, then he either takes a shot while it's in the air or uses the half volley as the ball bounces. After the shot, the attacking player moves to the end of the opposite line. To do the half volley, the ball must be struck the instant it leaves the ground. Be sure you get over the ball in order to keep it low. This drill uses the same pattern as the last one, but this time the serve is not as high, and the attacking player simply uses a volley kick in his scoring attempt. The player can either shoot using the inside volley kick or an outside volley kick. With an inside kick, the player shoots with the foot closest to the ball. The outside kick is done with the foot farthest from the ball. You should choose which kick to use depending on the position of the defenders and the direction of the ball's arrival. Now the players will practice the same drill, but this time they will work on the jump volley, which is a cross between a volley and a bicycle kick. The bicycle kick is executed with your back to the goal, but in the jump volley, the ball comes across the goal and the shooter is facing the sideline. To gain momentum and power for the jump volley, the shooter briefly turns away from the goal, then swings back toward the ball as he leaves the ground to make contact with the instep and drives the ball at the goal. The next drill is for practicing the bicycle kick. The players form a line, and each in turn receives a high serve and must perform a bicycle kick to try to score. After each attempt, the player moves to the end of the line. The final shooting drill has 3 teams of 2 in a 2 versus 2 drill. This enables players to practice a variety of footwork as well as shooting techniques. This drill allows players to use a variety of attacking skills and to exercise the important asset of making decisions. The freedom of this drill allows them to use fakes and feints and dribbling moves, to attack space without the ball, to use combination passing, change the direction of the attack, and perfect movement off of the ball. The confined space gives players the opportunity for numerous repetitions of attacking skills in a realistic situation, against opposition, and end with a shot on goal. We're now going to put the players in game-related situations where they'll have the opportunity to use everything they've learned to try to score. The first variation is a 7 versus 5. After each shot, the defending team becomes attackers, and the 2 players in red join this team on the attack. The attacking team now has an advantage, and thereby a greater chance of sustaining the attack and meeting with success. The confined space should be about the size of 2 penalty areas, as this will always allow the team with the ball to be in a position to score. In the next game-related sequence, we've eliminated the 2 players in red, making the teams equal at 5 versus 5. In 5 versus 5, playing without the ball becomes important. Decoy runs can open dangerous attacking space for a teammate to run into to receive a pass or to shoot for goal. And a well-timed run off of the ball can destroy defensive cover and allow the player with the ball to attack a defender in a one-on-one situation. Support players must constantly change their position to make themselves available to receive the ball. A standing player is easy to mark and creates no problems for defenders. The final game is a 5 versus 7. with the players in red joining the defending team after every goal. These two additional defenders put extra pressure on the attacking team, making it even more difficult for attackers to penetrate the defense and score. In modern soccer, it is not uncommon to play against teams which place a great amount of emphasis on defense, pack the penalty area, and hope for a few quick breakaways to score. This drill, with 5 attackers trying to score against 7 defenders, duplicates such a situation. One of the methods to combat this strategy includes attacking the back of the defense. To do this, a team needs players who are willing to make penetrating runs to get behind the defense, and the run must be accompanied with a well-timed through pass. Another way is to isolate one attacker and one defender, get the ball to the attacker, and let him go one-on-one. And a third method is to have players with the ability, accuracy, strength, and confidence to shoot from outside the penalty area. This may be the easiest way to beat a packed defense, and therefore points out the great importance of correct shooting technique and hours of practice.
Litvichenko for the Soviet Union.
Here's a well-placed shot with the inside of the foot.
And Gotsmanov. Well, Peter Shilton has performed miracles at the other end in the first half, but when Gotsmanov got away there from Duxbury, there wasn't very much the England goalkeeper could do about that.
And a shot with the outside of the foot.
Oh! Huzios!
As you see, Maradona was the one who put the tackle on him, but Huzios sees a little space open to David Percy.
And a bending kick. We've just shown you a series of shooting skills and drills, but there is another equally important way to pass the ball about the field and to score goals: heading. We're going to move to the field now and explore the fascinating art of heading the soccer ball.
Romero, good pass in front.
In competition, skillful players who have the ability to control the ball with their head as well as their feet can score exciting goals like these.
Strikes the ball perfectly placed.
Moyers to Quinalha. He's one of the most skillful players in the league. If you didn't believe it then, look at it now. Great skill, heads it right to Addy Coker. Addy took it beautifully, knocked it in the corner.
Frans has divided the players into 2 lines, each player with a ball. In the early stages of heading, one of the things you'll want to overcome is your fear of the ball. That's what this first drill is about. In this drill, the player simply serves the ball to himself and heads it back into his hands. When heading the ball, strike it with the forehead and keep your eyes on the ball. In order to be able to see the ball and to send it where you want it to go, the correct area of contact is that area between the eyebrows and the hairline. Frans will now have the players work in pairs, with one player serving the ball to the other, who heads it back. The serve should be a soft lob, not too hard or too high. In the next heading drill, the players are further apart, and the server will throw the ball a little to the left or right of his partner. The receiving player then must get in line with the ball and head it back to the server. Notice how the receiver moves on the balls of his feet for quick mobility. Here are some important points to keep in mind when heading the ball. Get in line with the flight of the ball, keep your eyes open, use your arms for balance, bend back from the waist, move into the ball, and strike the ball with the forehead. After the players are comfortable with heading the ball, Frans has them move about 6 or 7 yards apart. They head the ball back to one another, keeping the ball in the air as long as they can. The key to this drill is not only to head the ball correctly yourself, but also to have the control to make it easy for your partner to return the ball to you. Later, you can have one of them back up gradually, a step at a time, to increase the distance, then move slowly back in. You can also have them alternate being the moving player. This variation on the drill helps players refine their distance perception. Something new has been added to this drill. The player must now touch the ball twice before it is returned to his partner. To do this, make contact near the bottom of the ball on the first touch. This sends the ball straight in the air. Then, reposition yourself to head the ball slightly beneath center for the second touch, which sends the ball back to your teammate. The next drill features a short-long sequence. The ball is served by an end player to the middle player, who heads it short to the server. He heads it long to the player on the other end, and the sequence continues. A short head to the middle player, a short return, and long to the player on the far end. Now, from time to time, Frans will ask one of the players to switch positions with the middle player without interrupting the flow of the drill. This drill incorporates 3 game-related elements. It teaches players to judge the distance the ball must travel to reach another player, and it also requires him to apply the correct amount of power to the ball. In a game situation, it's very likely you will have to jump to head the ball. This drill develops that skill. Frans will have the players return to the 2 lines, each player working with a partner. One player serves it to the other, who must jump in the air and return it. Notice how the player gets his whole body behind the ball, not just the head, but also the neck, waist, and legs. Using the whole body allows you to get power behind the ball. You can get additional power by drawing the head back, then snapping it forward. This is similar to the previous drill, but now the player is encouraged to run up to the ball. To do this properly, jump in the air by taking off on one leg, cock the head back, and snap it forward while keeping your eyes on the ball. Notice how the back is arched and brought forward. This also adds to the power. For the next drill, we've added the portable goals and goalkeepers. The goalkeeper serves the ball, and the attacking player must use the basic heading technique to return the ball. Once they're proficient in the drill, have the attacking players slowly move backward a step or so at a time, then slowly forward. This helps to sharpen distance perception. Now the players incorporate a run-up and must jump to get to the head ball. After a goal attempt, they rotate and attack the opposite goal. You can see that the goalkeeper handles the high ball rather easily, but he must leave his feet for the ball, which is headed down. Frans has the players line up again for the next drill, which is the first one that includes a defender. The ball is served to the heading player, who must jump to reach the header. The defender simply stands in front and does not compete for the ball. This drill serves 2 purposes: to get the attacking player used to having someone in front of him, and to teach him to go up for the ball. Players should alternate acting as attackers and defenders. In a variation on this drill, the attacking player is allowed to run up to the ball, letting him practice timing and adding power to his technique. In another variation on this drill, the defender jumps as the attacker goes for the ball, creating a situation more like you would find in an actual game. In a final variation on this drill, Frans lets the defender compete for the ball. This drill lets players perfect their timing and experience contact with other players. To avoid injury in this practice, it is important that the players serving the ball give the advantage to one of the two players practicing the head ball. The server can do this by serving the ball slightly closer to one player. For the next drill, Frans has instructed the defending player to remain passive, and the server sends a lob in front of the defender. The attacking player must run in front of the defender to head the ball. This drill develops the aggressiveness necessary for effective attacking soccer. Now the server will kick the ball, and again, the attacker must run in front of the defending player. But this time, the defender will be a little more active, demanding that the attacking player be even more aggressive. In the next drill, we will have one attacking player near the goal who will practice glancing headers. A kicker serves the ball from the side. The attacking player uses his head merely to change the direction of the ball, just enough to get it in the goal. Glancing head balls usually occur close to the goal, and the purpose of the glancing header is to slightly change the original path of the ball. With the ball being close to the goal, it is often unnecessary to add power to the ball. When the goalkeeper comes to the near post to intercept a crossing pass, the player heading the ball needs only to let the ball glance off of his head toward the far post. For the next drill, there are two attacking players and a defender in red. The ball is again served from the side, but instead of heading it toward the goal, the receiving player must send it on to a teammate, who then can use a shooting or heading skill to attempt to score. In a game, if you're surrounded by defenders, a glancing header can be used to send the ball to a teammate who has a clear shot on goal. The diving header is one of those exciting moves that can bring spectators to their feet. This drill introduces players to the diving header. Attacking players form a single line in front of the goal. The goalkeeper serves the ball, just a soft lob, no higher than the attacker's shoulder. The attacking player, from a standing position, dives forward, striking the ball with the forehead, and uses his hands and arms to break the fall. Since players will often be called upon to head crossing passes toward the goal in a game situation, Frans has added a player serving from the side to this drill. At first, the player should perform the heading technique from a standing position. The diving header is most often used on a ball coming across the goal mouth. This drill is closer to reality and more difficult, merely because we have changed the angle of the delivery. Frans has the attacking players form two lines in front of the goal for the next drill, which emphasizes heading from the side. A player in one line serves the ball to an advancing player from the other line, who attempts to head the ball into the goal. Watch the attacking player turn his upper body and head toward the goal so that he can hit the ball with his forehead, adding control as well as power. Notice the characteristic head snap of a player who uses his whole body to get power behind the ball. We've put up the portable goals again, and we've put 4 players between them, 2 on a team. The ball is served from the side. The blue team tries to score in the near goal, and the white team in the far goal. This drill simulates the competition for the ball players will find in game situations. As players learn to react aggressively toward the ball, this drill introduces competition while still allowing them to perfect their technique. In a variation on this drill, the players are allowed to head the ball toward either goal in an attempt to score. To make the situation even more game-related, Frans has set up a 3 versus 3 drill with one free player in red who always plays with the attacking team. The advantage of working in a confined area with portable goals is clearly evident here. Repetition is the best way to learn, and the bush players can create numerous scoring opportunities with the head in this realistic practice. Just as we did in the shooting section, we've put the players in a 7 versus 5 game-related situation to have them polish their heading skills under pressure. Again, the 2 players in red always play with the attacking team. With 2 more players than the defending team, the attackers should have no trouble getting the ball out to the flanks. The remainder of the attacking team should try to spread the defense rather than let them bunch up in front of the goal. After the team has worked on this game, coaches can eliminate the players in red, equalizing the sides and putting more pressure on the attacking team. To make the situation even more realistic, the players in red play for the defensive team, adding even more pressure on the attacking players. Now let's look at some action from the North American Soccer League as they score some exciting goals through heading techniques. First, a pass from one head to another leads to a goal. And now some spectacular diving headers.
Concentration and extra effort pays off.
Stan Terlecki with 2 men in the box, one of them Bogey. Centers, Bogey, header, goal! What a goal!
That is diving header by Bogey. Fantastic.
Injured thigh. Seattle looking to attack. Bridge with a header and it goes in.
There we see David Bradford slots a through ball to Peter Ward, who crosses it over the goalkeeper's head to the far side, and there's Ian Bridge, who is a defender who has come.
The goal is violent.
There we see it again. A 30-yard through pass with his left foot. No control, just lets it run on. Clears the goalkeeper. There's Ian Bridge, diving header.
You've just seen the basic techniques of scoring. Frans, now that they've seen this, what's your advice?
They should practice very hard on the basic shooting and attacking skills, practicing them until they are totally comfortable with them. Then they should gradually increase the difficulty as they have done with our drill sequences until they can perform the skills under the pressure of a defender. When they play the game, they should show initiative and take advantage of scoring opportunities while maintaining composure in the face of a tight defense. Maybe then in the future, the United States will start producing world-class players.
I, for one, am convinced that someplace out there is the first United States world-class player. Who will be the first world-class player from this great country of ours? Will it be you? Come on, let's get out on that field and practice.